Hi, McLean. You're wrong. We fixed it. Hi. Good day, everyone. Welcome. Yes, thank you.
Oh.
I felt a little tropical.
Better.
Hello, everybody. I missed you. You got a little taste of them, but I haven't been here in a while. I was in China, and then I was at home in my pajamas, and now I'm back. So.
And welcome back.
Thank you. So yeah, okay, we have a lot of stuff to discuss today. It's going to be an interesting one.
Sorry, I see the spam for Côté in the chat.
Shit, once almost.
Everybody missed that. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, but we'll talk about this. It's the performance reviews right now. The season of the yearly performance reviews here. So Bjorn, we'll talk about that. That's fine though. no foul.
Anyway, Bjorn is here with us. Obviously, Matt is back. Matt Côté. We have Clyde. We have Lucy. We have Getawid.
My sister's calling. I'm sorry. I'll let her know.
McLean is here. Murph, Ryudy, Sassy, Suggestive, and Faded. Welcome, guys.
Thank you very much to our wild crew of people. We also have a bunch of other mods that are helping us in the
Discord.
Junior mods. It's cute. It's like the Tiny Toons.
They're here. They're here too. Come on.
No. All right. So let's get to this. First and foremost, news. So the big thing today, which is really cool, let's start with good news. Freddy is coming out on PS4 and Xbox One. Actually, for some of you who have been scratching at the internet, you know that some people in Australia start getting it, I think, through the night. The rest of the world will get it as time unfolds in its natural way.
Yes.
Is that it? Pretty much.
Well, that's pretty much
what
happening
we had
today.
to say.
It's today for
we don't know the
consoles.
exact time. It should be
exactly.
I guess we should know
and,
this. But
well, we actually knew it on the blogs and everything this week.
All right, so we posted it, but essentially it's happening now. Depending on when you are across the world, tomorrow for sure you'll be playing it on console. Now, the next subject is an important one, and it refers to the title of our stream today. So you may have noticed in the year and a half that
What's the title for people who didn't refresh yet?
To share or not to share. Thanks. So, in the year and a half or so since we launched this game, actually even before that, when we were in beta and alpha before that, we developed a way of talking with you out there, our players, our community. We decided to be as transparent as we possibly could, and we decided to try to share with you some of the development questions that we have and some of the discussions that we have internally, and to try to give you a window into what it is to develop a game and how it is for us to keep this game alive and to tweak it and balance it as we go along.
Ideas we're working on, testing, stuff like that.
So I wasn't here last week, but there were some discussions about all the potential things that we were talking about that could be done to...
A portion of the potential things, that's the thing also.
Talking about what we could do to modify, hopefully improve, balance Freddy. Because as you all probably have realized, Freddy is extremely powerful. He's supposed to be, he's Freddy Krueger, and he's a killer in Dead by Daylight. They're supposed to be powerful. He's very powerful, and his power is kind of funky and out there, so we did it, and we're happy with it. But, some people are saying, no, he's not powerful. Well, you know, we look at the reaction. There's a lot of people disconnecting because they see Freddy. That tells me that they're afraid.
It's also not always about powerful, but like the fun factor and everything, and that's a very important part also.
But anyway, to get back to my point, we shared a lot of our thought process and about the things that we thought we might do or might not, and
that we were actually testing.
And the response we've seen in many ways was overwhelmingly negative, because some people took that as this is what's gonna happen tomorrow, and they went batshit crazy with it, which is not good. And it brought the question that we asked ourselves, are we sharing too much? Are you even interested in knowing these things, that these discussions that we have internally, or is it just more noise that we're sending your way and it's just scaring people? We don't have an answer. We don't. Right now, our initial reaction is to say, we shouldn't share these things. But you know what?
I'm for sharing, maybe sharing more, like maybe having like a banner around the stream, like splashing red saying, this is only test ideas or something like that.
Even then, it could be taken out of context. That wouldn't be the first
it's harder when you clip something and it's flashing, But the idea is to communicate better, or just maybe we're gonna wait until we have certainty before we say
the
stuff.
other things that I want to say, there's two things that come out of this. Is one of it is that we will talk in a little moment. We'll have Stéphane come in and talk about the patch that's coming today, which will have an impact on Freddy. And changes. Hopefully improving the fun for people playing Freddy or playing against Freddy. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is there's a lot of negative reviews right now on Freddy. Well, I'm saying a lot. Compared to the rest of the reviews on the rest of our stuff, there's a significant number of negative reviews. And I am absolutely okay with you writing a negative review if you don't like what we've done. That's absolutely fair. But some of those reviews are saying the killer was fun and then they destroyed it by changing it, which we haven't done. And putting a negative review for something that we haven't done is not fair, essentially. So that's it. That's it, really. So if you've written a review right now that's negative for Freddy because you hate what was discussed in the last stream, it is not representative of what's in the game, and that's not right. So I don't know what else to do with that. I'm just saying, please revise it if you can. Even if you leave it as a negative review, but go write you don't like what the killer is right now, I will be okay with that. I'd rather you change it to a positive one, but you know what? If that's your true opinion of the product, that's absolutely fine. But don't rate what was said on the stream. Rate what exists in the game, please. All right, that was my preachy moment. I think, is there anything I missed on this? Do you want to add something?
I think that was pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah, so, and we'll have Stéphane come in a little later to talk about the actual changes that we're doing.
What's actually happening, what's actually patched.
For realsies.
In the game.
Yes. People believe the lunge is longer.
Yes, we're gonna talk about the lunge later.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Okay. Third point we have. Oh, that's another interesting one that will spark things.
MLGA.
MLGA. Yeah.
So
we are in contact with the guy who does that thing, and we've mentioned it in the past because many people use it, and there are many functions in there that we thought were good. And for instance, the ping indicator was something that people used it for. We thought it was a good thing, good enough that we actually put it in our game. There seems to be a discrepancy in the way that's calculated. It doesn't really matter. The point is, we thought it was good, we let people use it, and we added some of that into our game. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on MLGA, but the important bit is there was a big change done lately that made it so that
it's been a while, but
some of the tags that were added were way too much. So there's a function in there to flag people that you block so that you can disconnect immediately if you see that they exist for many, many reasons. Some of them now being something like, hey, that person has played Freddy in the past, therefore I don't want to play with them. And this is certainly not a behavior we want to encourage. So we asked them to remove that from MLGA, and the reaction was moderately upset, I'd say, at best. So we are removing MLGA from the whitelist, and all that means is that right now, if you
promise
if you use it for what it was doing, which is the ping indicator, and well, there was another thing I forgot. It doesn't matter. If you're using it for the base, the backup and the ping indicator work.
I think that is
the way they are, and they will not flag you as a third-party, bad software. But in the future, there will be changes done to that, and if it flags you and you get banned because of that, we will not cry.
Also,
disconnecting repeatedly is still a bannable offense.
This is something we also talked about before, and we're gonna have talks in the team about it. But you know, like block system and everything. But this is not done yet, and this is why we're not talking further about it right now.
There you go.
Got it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. We play.
Okay,
Picture.
we play.
Nice
so
stuff.
yeah, last week I was in Shanghai, which was quite a lot of fun and very educational for me because I had never been in China before. I had the joy of going to Taipei the year before, but now I was in China, in Shanghai, and I met a lot of super excited players out there, and it was really cool. The We Play Expo, which is a brand new thing over there, is close to what PAX is over here, or that's what the Simon, the organizer, who's a very nice guy, by the way, that's his goal. So I want to show a few pictures of the awesome people I met over there. So yeah, that was amazing. That shirt, it's brilliant. Very passionate people. I cannot read the caption though. I'm sure it says something very insightful. The next one, we had a bunch of Myers. Myers is very popular over there. Also, it's probably one of the simpler cosplays to pull off, but it was very good. We had a lot of Myers hanging around the booth pretty much the whole time. Yeah, different types of Myers. Everybody's got their take on it. It was very nice. This was fun. This was perfect. So yeah, obviously Spark of Madness, very popular over in that corner. Also, you can see the girl right behind taking a picture. She had a little Dead by Daylight tattoo on her cheek, and well, it's not a tattoo.
You don't see it from here.
Makeup.
I don't know.
Oh, people will zoom in. That's fine. Then we had this really cool person come in and show us she had made a little nurse doll thing. Really not creepy, probably. This trapper, amazing. The quality of the work, and also, strangely enough, it's one of the most smiling, pleasant-looking trappers I've seen. And she was trying to say something about the clothespin. This is
She's
dedication.
Insane.
Because
why
barefoot on a convention floor is crazy commitment to a costume.
Yeah, that's.
There's a bunch of Huntress. She is, I think, a cosplayer favorite.
Yeah, she's really cool.
That look is
pretty on point.
Yeah, another one. Yeah, very nicely done here. Which those weapons would not have worked at any of the American conventions. I can tell you that because that's actually wood and the whole thing. A nice little couples picture here.
Aww, love the Meg.
Beautiful, beautiful
With
Meg
the
outfit.
anniversary setup.
Yeah, exactly. That was nice.
And the weekend pants, are you kidding? She had the weekend pants.
That guy was so proud of his Dead by Daylight shirt. That was amazing. Okay, that was not supposed to be in there. Now that's strange. That's my mother sent me a picture.
Okay,
that's my uncle in the corner, and he looks exactly like me. That's crazy.
Can we roll it again? Do you mind?
Look at that.
Okay, look at the guy up to the left.
That's my uncle.
That is not
Vital.
Matt.
That's not me. That's so there.
Okay, so we have an insight into Matt's family now.
I am not adopted, I think. Anyway, so I don't know why that picture ended up in there. I just dragged it from my phone. Okay, that was interesting.
At least it was just a family picture. And
yeah,
not
it could have been much worse. Not that I carry anything worse on my phone, but you know. Could have been Cooper.
You're a Time Lord. People are spamming that you're a Time Lord.
I was wondering what I was doing in there.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Bjorn is like, well, they put it there, so, you know.
You're like Ron Burgundy. You'll just play whatever we put in there. You don't ask questions.
I'm not gonna lie, that was great.
Okay.
Next week, you can see my family.
So, the next...
Nerf the uncle. Okay, let's be serious.
All right. G-Star. So on Tuesday, I am getting on another jet plane and jumping to our friends in Korea to go to G-Star, which should be quite a lot of fun.
Yes, and Alex is going with you?
Yeah, it's going to be me and Alex, and we are going to be embedded in the Twitch boot.
Yeah.
So come see us. It's going to be one of the rare places where you will not be swamped with people, most likely. There's always a lot of people at the Twitch booth, but they're expecting quite a lot of people at G-Star. So come see us. It's going to be awesome. I hope. No, I'm sure it's going to be fun. So that's the next news. Now, Mr. Orvat should be here shortly. Cue the Horvat.
Cue the Orvat. Okay. In the meantime, maybe there was a couple of questions.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So please talk about the rate. I have the roadmap a little bit later. We're gonna talk about what's next after this patch. We have a couple of bug fixes that we can talk before Orvat comes in, which is not at all balanced, but really.
Do you have the whole thing? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have the whole thing.
So there's a question: can you add a 2-second invincibility after coming off a hook? You always get hit while in midair when getting rescued. You're only gonna get hit in midair when you're being rescued when the killer is right there.
Yeah.
So
maybe
really?
maybe survivors do not unhook someone when the killer is just right there.
Hello, sir.
I don't know.
Hello.
What I would like is when you exit the locker, but that's another story. That's for locker
yes.
jukes.
Yes.
Orvat is laughing because he's like, she's always asking me for this.
I saw a beautiful video on Reddit. I should have taken it. Someone who's hidden in a locker, and then the killer just opens the door, and while he's looking in the next door locker, it's in the basement, he comes out and gets into the other one while he's checking the second one. Beautifully executed.
It's
Timing.
fantastic, actually.
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, we have
Hey,
Orvat with
that
us.
guy. Hi.
Hello.
So let's talk about the patch that we are releasing today, like hounds.
Okay.
Oh, you have your notes?
Like,
I printed it out because I was like, I don't know if it's printed out.
It is.
oh, I think oh no, never mind. I stole the ring thing.
Yeah, that's where that went. I thought it didn't print out. All right, cool. Your printer is working, Bjorn. Ignore the messages. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do nothing.
Okay, so this patch is coming out literally after the stream, I
Yep.
believe.
I don't know. I might have been pushed.
Either
Really?
like
I don't know.
Seriously,
We'll
can we
find
get
out,
a
we'll find out,
can we
we'll
get
find
a
out.
Steph
an
told me.
actual-
Steph told me today, but if it's push,
I
it's
might
push.
be trolling. I apologize.
Stop trolling.
So the nightmare. Apparently, no. Obviously, we talked about changes last week. We saw a lot of feedback about the nightmare and people playing on it, and we read a lot of it. So thank you for the feedback.
Just quick note on that feedback that is nicely done.
Yes.
Is most definitely more important to us
Constructive feedback
than
is
screaming.
fantastic.
Just
Yeah.
saying. Just
Yeah.
detail.
But we listen. So the idea is that we're looking to make a healthy and balanced game for everybody. This isn't to target one group or another.
It should be fun. That's the whole point.
The whole thing is for it to be fun. Yes, yay, fun. And I'd like for us to embrace this. You know, that's the idea. Can we talk about that question that someone asked?
Which
about the,
one?
The one about can killers and survivors be happy?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have the question right
Yeah.
here, and this was part of the Q&A. And someone asked us, where is it? Is it possible to have a patch that makes survivors and killers happy?
That's Jonathan Gur that wrote that.
Juttinger
Fantastic.
from Steam. So do you have an answer for that?
I do. I'm like, so every time we look for do balances changes or to adjust the game in some way, we're looking to make this more fun for everyone. I don't have a side that I prefer more than the other. I love everyone equally. And I like to murder everyone equally, but I can't the killer, not yet. Maybe eventually, I don't know. But that's besides the point. What we're looking for is just to have a healthy game, which is something that we want to achieve together. So hopefully one day we can achieve a point where everybody's happy with a patch. Devs and the players, including killers and survivors, you know? And people who play both, because there's people like that too.
Yeah.
You know? Anyways, so to go on with this, we've made some adjustments to our patch with the review and the comments that we've seen. We are happy to be able to do this and be able to talk with our fans. This is not something that everybody is capable of doing, and we have the ability to actually adapt.
It's true. We are privileged here in the sense that we can have a conversation with our fans,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
not every game development team is able to do.
It can get heated. Let's
get to the patch.
Well, let's get to the patch. So in the patch, I apologize. Heated. Yeah, anything.
But it's passion, right? We see that as passion.
Sure.
Just don't be a dick when you want
passion
to
fruit.
communicate the passion.
So just to go through the fluff, maybe not even fluff. This is something that's general for the game. We've improved the needle and thread and the surgical suture add-ons for the med kits.
Why?
You want to know why?
Yes.
Oh, okay, fine. Basically, the skill check chance was actually giving you a negative chance. We apologize for that. That was an oversight on our side. It is actually going to be a flat increase now, a flat 3% increase and a flat 5% increase. We've increased the surgical suture to be a moderately increased skill check chance, which is 5%. You can mark it. So after that, we've also looked into all the med kits. As we were stumbling about, we noticed that medkits only heal others faster, and this was not indicated in the description. We have updated the description. Medkits heal others faster, not yourself.
So when you use self-care, should you use your medkit?
You use it more efficiently. That's the whole point of the efficiency there, right?
There you go.
So healing item text change, that was exactly what we just talked about. Great, next one.
That doesn't seem to have
That
much
was
to
kind
do
of
with
a
the nightmare.
fixing.
This was fixing.
bug.
These are just adjustments.
Right?
No, I
While
know.
I was looking around the engine, I was like, these are things that we should definitely
That's
fix.
not what people are waiting for. Right?
I know, but I said the fluff first, and I'm gonna get to the things
all
and the
right.
general stuff.
No,
Building up to the points. Generator breaking animation does not have the proper sound. This bug has been fixed. It is now playing the hook sound. No, I'm just kidding. It is playing its proper sound with its animation.
I was going to say, what?
We add a put to sleep animation effect when Freddy opens up the locker, which is a quality of life improvement. We've made a killer VFX appear, so he basically has a animation when he appears. He doesn't just pop in, pop out, which is another quality of life improvement that we've done.
Does that change anything on the gameplay?
No.
Thank you.
No. We've added blood skill checks when you fail a skill check while in the nightmare, where it explodes with blood, again, for your fanfare enjoyment. Let's keep going. So we've now increased the terror radius of Freddy.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
This is a bigger deal, yeah. But keep in mind, what it was before was 16 meters. What his terror radius allowed was for survivors to hide within it to not be seen, right?
Yeah.
This is modifiable by perks such as Modern Abuse to make it smaller, which will make it so that Freddy has almost always a sight on a survivor who is sleeping, right? What we're looking to do is to increase his terror radius 8 meters, right? So normally the terror radius is 32 meters. His is going to be 8 meters smaller.
So 24.
Yeah. This gives a little bit more room to survivors to be able to maneuver around Freddy and try to lose him for a moment, right?
Is the lullaby going to be directional?
No. The lullaby is staying at 24 meters. It is the same as the terror radius to keep consistency's sake between the two of them. Mind you, the lullaby cannot be adjusted using terror radius adjusting add-ons, just
It's
like the Huntress.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes. Okay. And the 24-meter range is something that we're looking into doing potentially for the Hag as well, as we want to do increments of 8. This is more.
So basically, as a survivor, if I want to juke and stealth a little bit, I have a little bit more room to do it because of the terror radius.
Yes.
But once I get out of his terror radius, or if he modifies it with Monitor and Abuse, for example, I still get seen, right? So he doesn't lose that.
Exactly.
Thanks.
Yeah. There's no time delay. We talked about a 10-second time delay. We tried it out. It was not as fun as having a 24-meter range. The 24-meter range does change from the 60-meter range, where you have a little bit less play in terms of surprise. But we've also made a change to adjust for that.
Okay. People are asking why we're not making the lullaby directional. Do you want to talk about the juking session without seeing Freddy, only with the rain sound?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I've been doing internally myself whenever I play against Freddy is to listen to his lullaby to know when to start moving. As a player, I'm trying to keep in mind of my environment and my position to have a better way to react if he's coming. I also have cues and sound cues and visual cues in the portraits to tell me when a friend has been hit, and depending if I'm using empathy or bond or any of these types of things, I can know to a certain extent which direction the killer is coming from. Alert is another way to know this, right? when a killer interacts or shows you which direction he's coming from, you should try to readjust and work your way to try to hide from him when he comes. Now this is difficult against an invisible killer, right? So what you're trying to do is trying to think ahead of what he is thinking, right? Normally killers are going to go run to the gen, kick the gen, and then look for a survivor if they hadn't seen one in the first place. You use this opportunity to try to hide, which will be, I believe, an exciting experience for some people. The example of jumping into a locker and then coming out and then going back into the locker while he's checking one locker is something that you can do. So for example, I was in the basement of one of the hadn't killed houses, and I hid beside a carton, like a box of cardboard boxes or whatever. Yeah, the sausage boxes.
The sausage
boxes. And there was 4 lockers around me and the generator, right? I knew Freddy was above me and he was coming down. So I was like, I'm gonna go on the opposite side of the box and hope to hell that he doesn't see me. I'll know he sees me because I'm gonna start falling asleep. There's a pallet outside, I'm fine, right? So he comes in and he opens up a locker. I'm like, oh my God, he's to my left. So I try to readjust, right? And then I hear another locker opening and I was like, hee hee hee, that's funny. And then he went and kicked the gen and I was like, oh my God, he's gonna go for the next locker, and that's right beside me. So I went and hid on the other side of the carton, and sure enough, he opened it up, and I was like, yay! But I didn't do anything at that point, so I lost because he saw me, and I was just giggling, and then I dropped the pallet and I got away. So
still had a good time.
I had a great time.
Interesting story.
So there are aspects that you can stealth before the chase even occurs, and I'd like to be able to pass it on to other players who might not have thought about it or think that these situations are very frustrating. These are ways that you can, tools that you can use to get out of it. Spine chill, premonition, and alert and object of obsession still trigger while the nightmare is not seen to survivors, right? So you can use these as tools to help you as well. Premonition and spine chill are both general perks.
I think people are enjoying your story about happy little accidents.
Sick jutes or
Sick
bad.
jutes or bad.
Hopefully one day I can start recording myself and I will post these. So it's not just words. Yes.
Let's go through this list.
I'm almost there.
Yeah,
so
it's
Sleeping
almost
Survivor UI is something that was very highly demanded by a lot of players. It's made a lot of sense. We were looking at Survive with Friends in general as something that we'd love to embrace. I believe Survive with Friends is a great thing. It helps pass knowledge from one person to another. And one way that we can help to balance out the single player experience versus people who actually have this information or know how to use the information that's passing on in game, we're going to give more information through the portrait, through the UI, to help give you the same information as someone would say on voice chat, and hopefully eventually get to a point where someone's like, all right, yo, the killer's on me, and someone else is like, I know. Like every time there's, I know. That's what we're looking for.
Does the killer see the
Survivors
UI
are
too?
sleeping? Yes, absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Because that way you might just react differently if you just see the portrait change, even if you don't see the aura.
Agreed.
Thank you.
So we removed. So this is a big one as well. We know that the slugging game for Freddy was had a higher frustration level than most other slugging characters or killers in the game at the moment. One of the key factors in that was the fact that you had to wake somebody up before you had to heal them, and that puts you in a vulnerable situation and normally went down for a trade, which is okay, but at the same time, it was very frustrating for a lot of players. It ended up being a lot of just people on the ground and then just a slugfest, where the fun is not there in that aspect. We like how fast it is to pick somebody up. I know people have talked about making it even quicker, possibility, we don't know just yet. But we're gonna make it faster for Freddy by making it so that you don't have to wake somebody up before you heal them. You can just heal them, and once they are healed to injured from the dying state,
not like
they will be awoken.
You're using your heal 1 second on them and they wake up. That's not it.
No,
you have to finish the whole heal.
Finish the heal.
Get them up.
When they get back up, they wake up.
Yeah. And when you say finish the whole heal, it's wherever they finished off at. So if they finished off at where the fully recovered they can get to, and you finish it up, they're awoken, they can get good to go. Let us know how you feel about these changes now if you'd like, or in a post. It will probably be easier for me to read them. I would love to know. Adrenaline is now waking people up when it triggers. This will work at all levels, 1, 2, and 3. In addition to that, Adrenaline got a slight buff to tiers 1 and 2 to make them more similar and have a consistency between all levels. What changes between each level is the cooldown, so 60, 50 to 40. Other than that, you still get the 150% speed boost. You get a speed boost for 5 seconds across all levels, and you heal 1 health state, regardless of what state you were in, whether you were dying or injured, when the perk triggers.
Question.
This has been updated, yes.
What about Blood Warden?
What about Blood Warden?
Yes.
I was getting there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought we.
No, it's there.
Okay.
That's on page 10. Jesus. Killer running speed is slowed when transition is initiated. This is something that already existed.
Oh, yeah.
This is something that we talked about in the spotlight as well. So the time that we released with was 1 second, which is completely negligible. It did not work. The time that we were looking for was something more like 3 seconds. During these 3 seconds, keep in mind the slowdown of the Wraith is incredible. We are looking at this. This is part of the Wraith Cube. We can talk about this later. We haven't forgotten about you. Leg day. For the killer slow, it is not going to be down to 1.5 meters a second.
No.
It is going to be much more feasible, like more usable in a lot of aspects. It basically gives, if the survivors react right away, I think about 4 or 5 seconds to catch back up to them if you are behind them. During the dream transition, we've allowed you to blink in and out of existence, in view rather, during the time that you are going through the dream transition. You're going to blink in and out twice for 2 seconds, and with a time delay of 1 second between each blink.
And it's going to be a set sequence, so you can actually put that into good use.
Exactly.
Because you know that you'll be appearing and then disappearing and appearing and disappearing, and you could literally look elsewhere to try to trick them.
We do not have a way to show the killer at the moment in the game when you are blinking in and blinking out. We are looking for ways to do this. If you have suggestions, please fire away.
So that slowdown.
Yes.
So when you start, you put someone asleep, you get slowed.
Yes.
If you put another person asleep, do they add up or do they restart?
They would restart.
Restart the slowdown.
They should be restarting the slowdown. It should be 3 seconds maximum.
Okay. So if I cast on you,
if you
cast
put me
on
to sleep,
you,
then you put Matt to sleep.
it's only the 3 second, the last one that's gonna go through.
From the time that you
From the time that you did it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
should
important.
be pretty good.
Oh yeah, there's a question here that's completely unrelated, but
Fire
about the DirectX 11 problem with Windows 8.
Well, actually, I had an answer on later for bug fixes and stuff.
Okay.
It's
I will let you get to that then.
All right.
That is a fantastic thing to talk about, though. So, the Remember Me perk.
Oh yes.
This is not, the change is not going in the build. When I talked about having a larger downside for Remember Me, which is mime words that Dave had mentioned, was because I believed that Remember Me might be too frustrating for survivors, and I wanted to see if there was a way to keep the obsession in play and keep it fun. At first we were talking about even removing all the tokens when you killed the obsession, and people were like, whoa, you can't do that, that's insane. We want to
I was saying that.
Yeah, I know. You were not the only one. And I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Like, can we look at like maybe half? We can try this out. So what we had done, we proposed a change, an adjustment for it. But after the overwhelming responses and what we've seen and the usage of the perk, we see that this is not something that's needed now. This might be something we do later, or there might be another adjustment of some sort. But this is not something that we'll be changing at the moment.
All right.
So thank you. You've been heard. I think everyone's been heard. This is good. Waking up. No, this is the other
It's
stuff.
not part of the patch notes.
No. I'm going to go for the Blood Warden thing. This is the last thing.
Okay.
Blood Warden was something we were going to look at as well. Now, Blood Warden has adjustments planned, but this is for the future. This will not be coming in this patch.
This is the moment where it flashes.
Yeah, but that's it. So that's why I'm wondering why we're talking about this during the patch notes.
Because this is something that they mentioned as well, and I think this is very worth mentioning, just this part in particular. We would love to add feedback to make the perk activation clear for the killer in general, and we would like to make it so that it can block the hatch in addition to the exit gates, which I think would be really fun and really cool. Once we can get the art and everything going for it, it will be easier to put it together. So this will be something that's coming in the future. Again, you've been heard, and we're listening.
All right.
That would be it.
So we can go.
There's a shit ton of bug fixes. People will probably look at that.
Yeah, there's a shit ton
a few
of
big
them.
ones. There's a lot of fixes to the map. There was a few problem areas that we knew about.
May I just take a quick gander? There was one part that I wanted to talk about. So people have been talking about the lunge.
Yes, the lunge. Yeah. Lunge distance and everything.
So what happened with the lunge is I spoke with Ben and we found out our attack phase we knew that our attack phase lasted for 0.3 seconds. But what we weren't noticing was that the actual attack phase was, as soon as it detected a survivor or detected an obstruction, it would switch immediately to the blade wipe or the bounce off of a wall, right? What this did was, if the time was 0.3 seconds for the attack phase and you found him immediately, it meant that you saved like 0.2 seconds or whatever, right? And that in our game is a ton of time.
Yes.
It is a ton of time. Now that was always part of the cooldown and the success hit of the killer. This is also to make it look nice. When you hit somebody, you follow through with your hit. Now, with that being said, with the last patch, we had done this for obstructions and we had done this for hits. I think it was an oversight to do it for the obstruction, or perhaps not an oversight, but an adjustment that we should definitely do, and we've done for this patch today, where the obstruction itself, when it does find an actual like obstruction, it will go straight to the bounce off the wall, right? But the hits are supposed to chunk into the player and go through them. They're not supposed to just tap them on the back and come out. You're supposed to feel the pain. So that's what we're doing. That's what you're getting. And the other thing is...
This is why it feels longer.
This is why it would feel longer. This is why it would feel like you actually went all the way through.
Is it actually longer?
No. Well, what do you mean longer?
Like, is there launch range?
Longer?
Yeah. Can they reach out longer to a longer?
They might be able to hit somebody over an obstruction a little longer.
There you go.
Depending.
So that's what a lot of people have been feeling.
But I believe that you're probably going to find the obstruction first. I need to talk with Ben to double check with that, but we'll be back next week to talk about it. Okay. And the other thing is for the Wraith, similar to when the Hag released, everybody thought that her lunge was longer as well. When we lower her camera and when we lower your perspective, basically what you're seeing is you're seeing the weapon go out way further in front of you, right? Whereas when you're lower, it looks like it's not, or sorry, when your weapon is higher, it looks like it's not going as far. It looks like it's almost like missing the character, but when you're lower, it looks like you always hit exact same distance. It should be the exact same distance. That's how that works. We've tested it multiple times, and that's what we believe. 360 meta confirmed.
So there's a lot of adjustments to maps, specifically the new map. For I'm calling them fat shaming area.
Yes.
Where killers can't pass and survivors can and stuff like that. We have a lot of adjustments for that.
Yeah. Strangely enough, even the Hag can go through, and she is.
Yeah, there is audio desync issues that have been fixed also. The Naruto bug is is fixed, which was freaking hilarious, but caused you to drop in the world, which was not very funny. Yeah. Brightness of the dream state in treatment theater has been adjusted. Yeah. That has been asked a lot. And then I think, like, if you, we're gonna answer other questions. We're gonna show the roadmap, what's coming up. Also what bug and issues we're working on right now. I think the most important thing on the patch notes is for loss of progress. We are actually rolling in the fix for a small amount of the players right now. Our testing phase has been good. And now we're rolling the fix for a small amount of the players, and if everything goes well in the next month or so, everybody is going to be on the new system.
Let's do it.
So that's really good. Next roadmap, please, if you have it up. Thank you.
Oh, dang.
All right.
Fixes and changes, Freddy, and bug fixes. This is next patch, which is imminent. And next we would have the rate queue. Actually,
well, no, this is the last three are not in order.
And blood web.
Most likely the UI improvements are supposed to.
Yeah, most likely the UI improvement, faster blood web, will be before raid queue, but it's
they're
still
all parallel. So we don't know exactly.
Yeah, that's my bad. I did. And then the badge update. People were asking for stealth points and a redo of the, the killer cube and stuff like that. This is basically the killer victory cube. This is basically badge update.
Yeah.
So just so you know.
Which I believe is not called badges anymore.
Oh, you changed it. You guys changed the name?
Emblems.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. They're called emblems.
Emblems.
Yes.
Okay.
There's probably a reason for that.
Words.
All right.
Oh, and is Freddy's Mori fixed? I believe that is in the patch notes there.
Yes, it is.
The what?
The Mori for
yes.
the nightmare.
Thank you for the
Also,
question, Mikis.
Object of obsession and alert don't work when you're not in the dream world.
So when you say don't work, from what I understand, sorry, it's the emblem system.
Yes.
So object of obsession, the way it would work for a survivor is that when you look at the killer, Freddy will see you, but you won't see Freddy because he's invisible. You don't see him when you're awake. So that will still be like that, but your perk's gonna light up, ding, and it will tell you you're looking at the killer. This is still viable and useful information. You can find out which direction he's coming from, much like a spine chill or a premonition, depending on how you're using it. So it's not a complete downside or a breaking of the perk. It will work the same when you are asleep. As for alert works similarly. When the killer breaks an object or a pallet or a generator rather, within the radius of alert, you will be alerted by your perk, again, lighting up. If you know how Whispers works, this is very similar to how Whispers works. For a period of time, it was not working very well in terms of its audio. So most people were actually dealing with the light up of the perk itself to understand where people were. So I believe this is the same effect that we can be using for Object of Obsession and Alert, but I'm happy to review this in the future.
All right. So we can go to general issues, so I can.
Thank you,
or about
McLean,
sending us memes.
I didn't send a meme. That's McLean.
Or sorry.
McLean is super useful right now.
McLean.
Get back to work.
Lots of progress for all platform. As I said earlier, we are rolling the fix right now.
Yeah.
Yay! Rejoice. We have a new issue which prevents some players to connect to online services. We are currently gathering logs about it. There is a partial fix that helped a couple of people. Basically reinstalling the whole Steam client would fix it for some people. For the other, we are still gathering logs. Please look into the Steam forums. And there is a pinned post. Then we have One Gate on Azerov. We have someone working on this right now, trying to fix the problem. Fat shaming spots. Basically, we have a fix on a lot of spots like that on the new map, but there is also spots like that on other maps. We're always looking into it. We're always trying to fix these places. So that's...
Yes.
Yeah. We are fixing a lot, and there's still others.
A lot to do. So just to mention,
yes, please.
Tinkerer.
Yeah, that's
now working for Freddy. We are going to be doing this when we do some of the add-on reviews.
Okay.
Which is necessary for a lot of our killers. I don't know if you guys have noticed. But we will be happy to look at it when we get to that point as well. Hopefully sooner than later when it comes to that kind of stuff, because I believe that the add-ons are a great aspect. I was not looking at you for approval.
No,
I was just saying in general, I think that we need to help out with the add-ons a little bit.
Okay. And then we have console or PC, as you wish, Bjorn. You're the MC. All right, we got console. We fixed the rank reset. We think we have most people. If you are still experiencing it
after this patch,
after the last patch, please contact our QA. They're gonna look into your specific
and don't
case.
ping them on Steam. Just there are forums on Steam for that specifically.
Yeah.
Don't just like find one of our QA and talk to them on Steam. That's not gonna be useful.
FPS we're always working. Now we have a good group that is working on optimization.
There's a strike team doing just that right now.
We had a lot of comments about the useless splinters. They will be removed. They are still there. Yeah, that sucks. There we go. The trophy. No, but it sucks to get a splinter.
That's what I mean. It sucks to get a splinter. Period. No, this is not our game.
The trophy, where did they go? It is currently bugged, specifically for the person who is using the key to unlock the door. So everybody else will get it except the person who actually uses the key. So this is a bug right now. And we still have pallet position bugs where they spawn in the middle. We still have that a couple of places on console. Can we have PC now? Thank you. We still have issues. We're still under investigation for peripheral issues. So some people have reported that their mouse, their keyboard, their sound works weird since the last patch. We're Gonna Live Forever has been in test for the tokens. Make sure that it works properly. Save the Best for Last has been reported to me this week and has been bugged by QA also. They confirmed
basically
an
they're
issue.
saying that when you chase somebody and then you chase somebody else, the chase is not it's reinitialized and it just restarts from the beginning.
Yes.
Where it should just continue. We apologize.
So this is a bug.
Yeah.
DirectX 11 plus Windows 8 issues. We do have a fix. Update your OS. That's the fix. We're not so we're not responsible for that. Like, you guys need to update your OS. And the thing is that we're still looking into it to make sure that it's really related to this, that if there's anything else we can do. But a lot of people have had their problem solved by updating.
But that's also the magic, same with the peripherals, it's the magic of making PC games. Everybody's setup is different, all the drivers are different, and the combination of it, because you have that CPU and your BIOS is this and
palette issue. So Survivor's getting caught in the Shack palette. This is still under investigation and still trying to fix this. Just a note for killers, if you are leaving Survivors there to gain an advantage, read the rules. Leaving Survivors there to gain an advantage could be considered as an exploit. So, for example, played a game where a Myers just stood there, got Evil Within 3, broke the pallet, and grabbed 2 of us. So that was
unpleasant.
I didn't personally do anything about it, but it is unpleasant.
Do you have questions here? Oh, there we go.
Yes, we have other. We have a lot of questions.
Well, are we done
for the
with
Q&A?
this?
We are done with the bugs right there. There's others, of course.
Yeah, but that's a good overview.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did we want to talk a little bit about
the what?
The other pages I had?
No, we're gonna start with the Q&A, and if we have time, because it's already 10 minutes before the end.
No. Let's go quickly through some of the questions in there. I don't have any. Oh yeah. Can you possibly restate what you said about MLGA? There's a lot of questions about it. Maybe we should have put that in a crawler. We'll do that next time. So for MLGA, the last few changes and adds that were done to that tool crossed a certain line for us where we asked them to take it out, and so essentially the end of that conversation was MLGA as it stands now will not be whitelisted anymore, so use it at your own risk, essentially. The Evil Within stalking sound effect hanger's not playing anymore.
The little the song in Evil Within
Or
1.
that as the answer.
I do have the answer.
Go ahead.
So, this was an issue. This is a bug. Basically what happened was Myers lost his stock stinger. When he looks at you and he stalks you for a period of time, then eventually you're going to hear a sound saying that Myers is stalking you. So that was gone for a period of time. This has been gone for a few weeks at least. I've been looking at the stats to see how Myers is doing. Because if this was something that would make him overly strong, we would notice it. If this would make him weaker, we would notice it as well. It seems like he got a little stronger, which is great. He's got 2 other indicators where you can see him, because the only way that he can stalk you is that if he sees you directly. You have a third-person camera.
Yeah.
There is no way.
You have an edge.
There is no way that he can see you without you seeing him. So you have to actively look for him. Seeing as Nightmare is now an invisible killer, the Wraith is going to be getting a buff in that regard as well. Myers would be poorly left behind in some aspects when you get these kind of buffs. So this is actually a happy bug. I think this is a great thing. I think we're going to keep it as it is with no stinger. Let us know what you think, but I don't see this as being a problem.
It makes Evil Within 1 Meyer scratchy mirrors really funny.
Really funny, yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean, why would you stalk people? Well, I guess, yeah.
No, but...
Oh, I mean, you stalk people.
Okay, so basically asking to buff Monstrous Shrine Deja Vu perks. What do we do about that? We need to make it quick. go through the list.
Oh,
just
we don't have to
saying.
go through the list.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, there's interesting questions.
We have ideas
pick
to
the
improve
ones
them.
that are interesting.
And
Okay.
we'd love to do them. Go. Quick questions. Quick answers.
Yes.
Lightning round.
Oh, here. Do you look at suggestions sections at all? Any idea that ever interested in you? Because many people still creating their own suggestion, but none of you dev ever say a word about it in stream, which is false, by the way.
Yeah.
did-
It's funny because we get that question often,
Yeah.
and we answer it the same way all the time,
Yeah.
which
So-
is, yes, please keep doing that.
Yeah.
We do look at it.
But I want to go a step further.
Yes,
Go.
because
So-
that one is amazing.
Yeah, so Soul Taker, well, no, there's a lot of them are amazing. But anyway,
Yeah,
Soul
but-
Taker 669 posted a, what did you didn't write the name?
Save
yeah,
the best
it's
for
on
last
Reddit.
Oh, yeah, no, but it's Save the Best for Last.
Rework or something.
So the idea rework idea. Yes. So you can look it up. You can find it. I wanted to show them where they can
Yeah.
go. Anyway, so
On Reddit.
Great suggestion. He talks about how to rework the perk and a used token system. I don't know if we're going to go with exactly that, but these are the types of things that I love to see. I love to read. This is constructive feedback and great ideas, creativity. It's fantastic. So we're definitely looking.
Yeah.
Definitely see.
So we are looking, we're not always responding, and a lot of the time we're responding in a more personal, one-on-one manner so that we can actually have a conversation more in-depth about these subjects. So
Yeah.
please continue.
But with that being said, it doesn't mean that what we read is going to just go into the game or anything
No,
like that. We have
and
to
it
take
also
all-
means that it's possible for you to write something super interesting and we just don't answer
Yeah.
because we can't answer every single suggestion out there.
Yeah. Would you consider changing the way a few survivor item work? For example, brand new part or purple flashlight.
I would be more than happy to consider this. I've been considering this for a while.
Well, not just that, but we
What about-
do that. We've reworked the brand new parts drastically a
We
little
have,
while back.
yeah.
We might do it again,
I
but
think we'll do it again. And there's one other thing
What
for the
about
Instablinds.
Instablinds?
Yeah, we can talk about this.
yeah.
Really quickly.
So Instablinds, really quickly. All Instablind components, modifiers had 4 modifiers within them. So basically when it said like increases the power against the killer, increases the flashlight's effects, it was increasing the brightness of the flashlight, which is aesthetic, so it just makes it look like it's brighter. It increases the blind time, so the faster you get blinded. Reveal time, the faster you get revealed, so
And
burned
how
out of
long?
stealth.
Not
What were
the
the
duration.
percentages? We had like 25% faster was the highest for tremendously, which is significant. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And the duration was also in there, so for how long you were blinded for. We believe with the 1 second timer for blinding somebody, and the fact that now we've put the count on the client side, so the person who's actually flashlighting is sending the information. It means that the actual flashlighting of the killer is a lot more precise from his side. It gives the survivors an advantage to a certain extent. And that 1 second is very difficult to work with, to make it shorter for that matter. So what I've looked to do and what I've done for the Wraith Cube, this is where it's slated at the moment, is to remove the blind time and the reveal time and just keep the duration and the brightness, right? So we'll blind you for a longer period of time. This is still a very important part and a valid part of the add-on, but they will no longer have the quicker blind times, right? So we're going to take a look at this. We're going to see how it plays in game. I believe this will be more comfortable and helpful for everybody. You can still blind killers. That was not the intention. We still want to have that kind of gameplay in. We're also looking at other things for flashlights. This is not the only thing we're ever going to do on flashlights. It's not how that works.
And this is not solid fact, by the way. This is
Either.
what we're doing right now.
I'm testing this out. I need
Whip.
to know.
Testing.
Whip or not. Yeah.
Next week, I'm gonna have like a
These
really
sprinkles?
big banner,
Okay, we'll do that.
red banner saying
Yeah.
this is only tested.
Yeah. So we're going to look into this kind of stuff. We're listening, we are seeing, and this is one of the things that will be changing soon. I will be reading Reddit
Also-
or Steam
yeah.
Fire off.
Let's just
Also,
change the background to like a
we-
circus or something,
Yeah.
so it's not serious.
We should
when
just
we're
all be
talking about
green.
We
Yeah, just make it
won't
black
have
and white.
time to go over the whole Raid Cube changes.
No. And I know
that's-
we said we would talk about it this week, but you know what?
we had
this was
more
more
important things like Freddy Changes to talk about. So
Can I
we
say one
decided-
thing about Raid?
You can say whatever you want.
Ooh,
That's
what?
not true.
One thing.
That's not
One
true.
thing about the Raid is that he can open up lockers while he's invisible.
Oh,
It's
that's gonna be fun.
A slight thing, but it should be fun. If Freddy can do it, why can't the Wraith? We're going to
There
have a
you
fun time.
That's exactly the
It's gonna be
argument
good.
he made. Philip, I mean.
Philip?
And,
Yeah.
and we said,
Well, I saw it, and I saw the little meme. He was sitting at the bottom, and he was chatting with them, you know. He buffed me, and I was like, oh.
Aye.
So typical.
Bro.
Oh, I'm sorry, bruh, but it's almost 3.
Okay, so let's wrap this up then.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yes, Bjorn, you're right. Now that I'm back, we can actually show some of the cool stuff I saw. So the first image I have is someone who actually brought this to me in Shanghai. A friend of his did that. That's really cool. So I said, yes, I'll show it on the stream. It is from, I should have the name here.
Lucy's like, from the web. Lucy's like, show me all.
It is from Chongzi. Thank you very much. Next, we have a leather Dwight. Very good Halloween. Yeah, so that's a great outfit. I love it. It works so well.
Doesn't look like he likes that face.
He rarely looks extremely enthusiastic, except in some of the weirder things with Jake I've seen. Anyway, then we have Nizvestny.
Yeah.
Okay. With a hag body pillow. I want a hag body pillow. And I like that his eyes don't look so crazy. He actually looks like he's chill right now. It's probably herbal tea in there. It's not coffee.
I thought his pupils were like super tiny. He was like, oh, yeah. Jesus.
Then we have Runa. I really like this very chill trapper.
Bjorn doesn't like it.
No, you don't like the bunny slippers? Not sure? Okay, well, I'm sure you'll like the last one, which is from Outfine. Okay.
It's a good thing we removed the stinger.
Yeah. Is that what you call it?
Well, I don't know. I just did.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
McLean's like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
There you go.
Make it known.
McLean wants Michael's stinger. We'll say
so,
that.
I don't want to promise anything,
that.
but hopefully we're going to have... No, but hopefully we're going to talk more extensively about the Raid Cube.
Well...
next week.
Probably, unless we have a huge release that comes out, and then we'll talk about that one.
Something huge coming up.
Wait, are we gonna see it only if people post leg day pictures for Wraith?
I would love to see that.
What
I wanted to do, but I missed the whole Halloween thing because I was on travels. But I wanted to see the nicest Dead by Daylight pumpkins out there.
Oh,
I'm sure there were quite
awesome.
a lot of.
They were awesome.
Really sick.
So I mean, it's not too late. If you want, send them over. Put them on the your Tumblr pages. Put them on the Steam artwork section, and I will look at them, and it will make me smile. So thank you.
All right.
That's it, really. Let's quickly go through the news again, because that's what we do at the end of the stream. First of all, Freddy is coming on console as we speak. It's already there for a few people. It's going to keep appearing to more people as time flows through the Earth spinning.
Roll out.
There you go. Then the questions and discussions that we're asking each other about testing and sharing things with you about the development process and about what we think of doing because of the absolutely insane lashing out and pushback that we got because of that, and the bad reviews on Steam for things that we didn't do, essentially. It was very surprising for us, so we're wondering just how much we're supposed to share. I still think we need to share as much as we can because I like talking like this. I don't want us to have to put filters on, but it needs to be clear that we're essentially giving you a window into our thought process. It's not necessarily giving you the gospel of what's happening next time.
Sharing is caring.
It's true, we do care. MLGA is not part of the whitelist anymore. Use it at your own risks. We Play, I was in Shanghai last week. It was fun. I showed pictures. Joy was had. And then G-Star in Korea will be next week. If you are passing by Busan in Korea, please come say hi. I will be happy to hear someone speak English. Did you just vanish?
Yes. Oh, I have one too.
Wow.
All right.
Mad.
See you next week, guys.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's all we have?
No, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by. It was fun. And we'll talk next week.
We got 1 minute for the raid. No.
No, too late.
And he kicks Jan's invisible.
Just put back the bunny slippers.
Yeah.
That's it.
My